Good day, family. I remain your host, Amiolaga, for Ideologies TV. And we are continuing the factors that enhance secession in Nigeria and Africa. Nigeria as a case study. And this will be the part 2 of the upload. And we'll be talking about language. And before I go deep into discussion, I appreciate my people. I appreciate people who have subscribed to the TV channel. I appreciate people who follow our programs, our analysis. I appreciate the likes. I appreciate the comments. Thank you for supporting. And I will also use this medium to give condolence, greetings to the family of Sultan Babadi. You have to take heart. The wife, the kids, you have to stay strong for your father. We lost one of the great sound in Nigeria today. Sound Sultan, the Nigerian Ninja. And that's the maker of the beat and the music I played earlier. Ajodabile, Motherland is the title. So going into our details today, I will be talking about language as a factor that enhances secession in Nigeria, in Africa and Nigeria as a case study. So while I continue with this discussion, I would like to refer us back to our previous discussion on last upload, the same topic, the factors that determine secession. There we mentioned 5 cogent points that we'll be talking about that enhance secession. In this cogent point, we talk about culture in the last upload. We talk about traditional values, and the part 2 of the upload is going to be language, and which we'll be discussing today. But before I go deep into language, I would like to start by defining what I understand by language. And language is the principle or method of human communication consisting of words and used of way of communications and conveyed by speech, writings, and gesture. That's languages. And 2, language can be a system of communication used by a particular country or community. This means that it could be one language for one country, it could be different language for one country, and language is diverse. In linguistic, it has its own meaning. In creative art, it has its own meaning, because you can use creative art or drawing or whatsoever to be a communication skill. In whatever way that you communicate to people, it's a language. It could be sign, it could be any way, it could be drawing, it could be teachings, it could be you speaking, it could be you giving signs and all of that. So language is diverse, is huge when it comes to time of explaining. But to relate language to the factor that enhance secession is what we are actually talking about in this upload. And with that definition, we continue our research in asking how many languages do we have all over the world. And all over the world, we speak about 6,500 languages. Roughly, we can't say specifically because we haven't sure where we've been to or if we have heard some people speaking. There are a lot of uncovered communities, a lot of unknown community all over the world. So we can't really say, but let's say roughly from research, we have 6,005 languages spoken all over the world. And in Africa, it is estimated 1,005 to 2,000 languages in Africa, in Africa. In Nigeria, as a case study, we have 525 to 530 different languages, different ways of communicating people, and these languages are regional in Nigeria. We have the Hausas, we have the Yorubas, we have the Igbos, we have the Ijaw, we have Ebibio, we have Edo, we have Nupe, we have Kanuri, we have Tifi, we have Idomas, we have a lot of language and communities speaking different languages. So how does this amount to enhancing secession? That is where we're going. Yes, it will enhance secession. It will enhance secession because if the common goals and the common thing that unites the people, it's not there. Well, we agree to my own understanding of Africanism and black nationalism, and we agree that language is not a major factor that enhance secession, because you could speak different languages, but you meet at a common ground, which Nigeria used to be official, and it's English language. And if the common goals, the management of the resources and all of that, if the communication is well spoken, the control of governance and the control of ministries, if they were well shared and well spoken about, I think it's just as cool as it could be for the people, and they can get to live together without not having issues. Don't forget, we've been living together since 1960, or before 1960, the amalgamation that Lord Lugard did, maybe before then. We've been living together. We don't speak the same language yet. We communicated. In 1962 to 1963, 64, 65, it was Biafra and all of the... This has to do with what enhances as well, because language will easily remind you that you're not the same thing as your fellow brother or your fellow nationality. You feel maybe inferior or superior to other language speaking whenever you are minimal to people who speak around you. You know, all of these amount to reminding you that we are separate. You know, we are not the same thing, and we don't relate and communicate the same way. So when I travel to the east and I found a Yoruba man there, I'm a Yoruba man, it will be easier for me to communicate to this person. And when an Eastern person comes down here and meets a Eastern brother, it's going to be easier to communicate and make friendship, you know, compared to we making the friendship intra. So all of these amounts to the fact that language has been so underrated in Africa. We underrated language to the level that we could not communicate except to communicate in another race language. It's a factor. It's a factor that affects our economy as well, because language is part of the tools that can build economy for any nation. I'm a Yoruba man. Imagine physics is written in Yoruba. Imagine chemistry is written in Yoruba. Imagine all our artwork, literature, drawing, everything is based on Yoruba. Imagine that all our anatomy science, all our biological science, agricultural science, and all of the textbooks we have are written in Yoruba language. This will be a big economic factor for Yoruba people, and it will be a big development for the Yoruba race, because we all want to develop what we have, to sell our language to other people, just like they sold their language to us. And this is not just about the Yoruba race. It's applied to the Igbos, it's applied to the BBOs, to the Edos, to the Doma, to the Kanuri, to the Nopes, you know. All of these that you're trying to explain is, we should know what factors is enhancing this Biafra and this oduduwa song that is being sung everywhere. So if Nigeria is going to really adjust constitution, they should be looking to a way that a common African language can be met, or if regionally, as we propose, a true federalism should be managed language-wise as well. Because if I have to speak English, I should be able to speak my language perfectly. And to what we have today, not many of the new generation children can speak your language very well, not just the Yoruba. It's happening in the Edos, it's happening in the Nopes, it's happening in where civilization gets to. You know, so we must dig deep and see. And one thing we must also know, that language is money. If you go to China, you have to get an interpreter to interpret your communications through the Chinese market, or through your friends or your business partner or associate that you're doing business with. Chinese will not say because they can speak English and they want to make you speak English to them. You know, actually, if it is within the political era, our leaders know when they go to China for deals, they go with interpreters. So what is wrong if everybody uses interpreter here in Africa? And it's no big deal. When they come here, they want to deal with us. English does not enhance what we do together. English does not. If they needed anything from here, they should be able to hand an interpreter here. Get an interpreter, pay to an interpreter. It is important that we embrace our language as people, that we know the power of language as people, that we know that language is a very strong factor in developing any nation. And all of this amounts to the whole scenario that we have. When we explain things like this, we tell people that there is no way you talk about cultural inclined development and not talk about the racial factor and not talk about things that makes it impossible for you to do what other people are doing. One of the things that makes it impossible for us to do what other people are doing is language, because we don't embrace it. We don't enhance development. If you go to the United Kingdom today, the Welsh, the Scottish, the London and Wales, or a lot of the UK country, Dublin Island and Northern Ireland and all of these nations, they have their own way of speaking, but they unite themselves by English. And what we should have done in Nigeria was to see it, if we use English as the official language, and let regionally everybody manage their nation with their language. And there should be basics and accreditation that is set for all of these things that we are saying. When we talk of factors, these are factors that really matters to development. It is not just we talking about government. When we get to government, what do we actually want to do? Do we actually want to change the status quo? Because when we talk about generating money, I used to remember Alawiye. How many children are now buying Alawiye book to read? None of them. I used to remember a lot of Yoruba books, Dio Fagunwa and all of them that wrote fantastic Yoruba stories when we were growing up. Where are those? Where are those today? Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, all of these languages. Go and look when Aminu Kano was contesting during his own time. He never used English to print his posters. He used his Hausa language to canvass the people against the ruling class then. And you can see the result Aminu Kano made out of that contest. So the power of languages cannot be ridiculed. And one other thing is, look at the age differences between the generations that we have today. We are well schooled, we speak very vocal, and we speak very good. And what about the generation before us? What is the percentage of those that can speak good? And what is the percentage of those that can speak good? If you check this balance, it's about 60-40. The less educated one is 60 and the educated one is 40. I'm sorry if it is not even 70-30. But let's be realistic in whatever we do. We need to communicate these elderly people. Why majority of my generation cannot even make a 3 Yoruba sentence without putting English in it? So how do you communicate to such a woman that you must only speak parables and speak proverbs and speak deep Oyole Yoruba too? Or maybe the person is from the Arewa, who they speak different kind of Yoruba tonnage, or the person is from Ekiti, or is from Oro, Ilorin, or we have different means of developing our nation. It is not just based on crude oil, and it is not just based on agriculture. There are other factors that can enhance development as a nation. And this is language in this upload, and by few days you will be seeing the part 3 of these factors that enhance secession. And before I go, I'll still go back to my music just to pay respect to the Black Ninja. He's one of us. He's a fighter, one of the best musicians, and he's a revolutionary. I can bet. If you look at Japajantis, he was trying to tell us what to do. If you look at Motherland, he was trying to say what to do too. He's communicating. It's part of language. Music is language. You know, it's communicating, telling us what to do about we that would live in diaspora. How do we want to come home often? We must be coming home. We mustn't forget people that love us, you know. That is why I like this particular song. Enjoy me and enjoying San Sultan on Motherland. That's one love say make you the born area.
Motherland, yo. Chinedu somebody borrow you will go. Make you to travel go Chicago. Remember Nnamdi selling car. So you go
America.
All these people when they raise you, still they stay. For face me I face you. Promise say you no go fashi them.
Every other day you will pass them.
Hillary, where you been promised to marry. Still they wait to boy she don't tarry. When she see you now inside ovation, you marry Oyibo from another nation.
If you can listen, it's just trying to tell us. You see? Just trying to tell boys to use their head wherever they found themselves. With you anywhere you dare. Thank you, my people.
Far away, that's one no say